Ado folks, just going to wait a second for the live stream to start. Oh, and it started straight away. Hiya guys, right, John here, just a quick little thing while I'm waiting for people to, I've got an appointment at 6 o'clock, so I'm just going to do this one. Right, this episode is a little quick live stream. God, it's terrible, isn't it, trying to do live TV? Right, we are going to do a quick little look at the Freedom of Information request. And I'm just going to turn me off on this thing here because I don't want to see me. There we go, 30 seconds below. Right, let's have a look then. So, what I wanted to do, people have done this before. They've had a look online and they've identified that people have been writing to the health executive or whoever it is, HSE England, asking for categorical evidence as to whether the SARS-CoV2 particle has been isolated or not. So, I've got a bit of me browser stuff working properly now, because before, if you remember from previous episodes, it was black and you couldn't read the thing. So right, what we're going to do then is we're going to have a look on here at this one, and the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to interact with the Google so I can see what I'm doing. Let's just enlarge it a little bit. So what we're going to be looking at is Freedom of Information request, COVID isolation. Enter. And I've already got something here. What do they know? Document held showing SARS-CoV2 has been isolated. And so at first glance, Google's making it look as though they've already isolated the particle. But if we click on it, and then we'll have a look at this together then. So what we've got on the screen here is a letter that was written by Andrew Johnson on the 24th of July 2020. And it reads, "Dear Public Health England, I would like to see all records in the possession, custody or control of Public Health England describing the isolation of SARS-CoV2 virus directly from a sample taken from a diseased patient where the patient sample was not first combined with any other source of genetic material, for example, monkey kidney cells, or what's that, aka viro cells or viro cells, liver cancer cells." Let me just enlarge it a bit because the text's not actually looking very good for me here. That's better. "Please note that I am using isolation in the everyday sense of the word, the act of separating a thing or things from everything else. I am not requesting records where isolation of SARS-CoV2 refers instead to the culturing of something or the performance of an application test, i.e. PCR test, or the sequencing of something. Please note that my request is not limited to records that were authored by the PHE or that pertain to work done by the PHE. My request includes any sort of record, for example, but not limited to, any published peer-reviewed study that the PHE has downloaded or printed. Please provide enough information about each record so that I may identify and access each record with certainty, i.e. title, author, date, journal, and where the public may access it. Yours faithfully, Andrew Johnson." I was about to call him Anthony Johnson then for some reason. Isn't that a band, Anthony and the Johnsons? Anyway, right, so the Public Health England responded on the 27th of July, official. "Dear Andrew Johnson, we acknowledge receipt of your email and request for information." Oh, I'll start again, sorry. "Dear Andrew Johnson, we acknowledge receipt of email and request for information, which will be treated as a request for information under the statutory access legislation. Subject access request. Please note that requests under the Freedom of Information Act and the Environmental Information Regulations, EIRs, will receive a response within 20 working days from the day following the date of receipt of your request. If the request is for your personal data, your request has been handled as a Data Subject Access Request, SAR, under Article 15 of the GDPR. then we will respond within 1 month of the receipt of request. So it goes on to say that they're going to respond in a timely fashion. Kind regards, Public Accountability Unit, Public Health England, gov.uk/PHE, and follow us on Twitter. So then, on the 20th of August, they responded back to Andrew Johnson. Dear Andrew Johnson, pleased to find attached Public Health England response to your request. And it's in HTML, we'll look at it in. And this is the official response, and this was the 20th of August. The PHE's reference is 24/07/HF/872. How many people we got viewing? 4 people viewing. Hello, folks. Hello, Wayne. How's it going? You right? Right, so this is the response by email. Dear Andrew Johnson, referencing documents held showing SARS-CoV2 has been isolated and causes COVID-19. Thank you for your email dated the 24th of July 2020. In accordance with Section 1(1)(a) of the Freedom of Information Act 2000, the Act, I can confirm that the Public Health England does not hold the information you have specified. Your request was for, and it goes on to say the bits of the letter that Andrew Johnson wrote to the PHE. It quotes those in bold, and then at the bottom it says the response is, PHE can confirm it does not hold information in the way suggested by your request. Now, looking at Andrew Johnson's letter, he was very specific about everything. He wanted specific isolation tactics or techniques, and he didn't want anything that was other than that, because we know that everything else is a load of rubbish. And then the only thing that they've actually left him with is, under Section 16, public authorities have a duty to provide and advise assistance. I have signposted you to the below links which contain information on taking COVID-19 swabs. That wasn't the question. The question was, has the British government and their scientists actually isolated the COVID-19 particle, molecule, virus, whatever you want to refer to it as? And the answer is, no, they haven't. This is the latest information that I can find, which goes back to the 20th of August. Regardless of that, this whole shenanigans started in, what was it, the 19th or 20th of March in Britain, and it's still going on now. And they acted from the 20th of March up to the 20th of August in the matter of COVID-19 in exactly the way that we've all seen, with lockdowns, mask wearing, social distancing, making the whole nation into germophobic paranoid androids. And all they've got to hand back to us is, let's have a look at them actually. Link number 1, Gov UK, government publications for corona taking swab samples. Well, that's not what we wanted. And I can't actually go back. I've just noticed there isn't a back button. Anyway, 5:17, it's alright, I've got an appointment at 6 o'clock. Right, well that's all I wanted to do, guys. A lot of other people have already picked up on this, but I just wanted to make it abundantly clear that the government, anywhere in the world, none of them have isolated the particle. So you tell me, how can they create a vaccine for a virus that they haven't isolated? Because as far as I'm aware, and I'm not a scientist or a doctor or a PhD or any of those, but it's my understanding that the first thing you have to do is isolate the cause and then start working on a resolution. So there you go. Right, I'll be back on in the next couple of days. I'm a bit sort of finicky with the broadcasts at the moment because I've just set everything up. It's starting to look quite nice actually. I've just been cleaning and tidying, and my gear's all sort of set up properly. I've got this, what is it? It's a USB breakout box, but it's each individual thing has got its own on and off switch, so I can actually stop things from switching on if I don't need them, which is fantastic. The lighting's lovely. I've managed to figure out that it's got orange and blue, so I can change the colour temperature, so I look nice. The microphone's wonderful. I hope the sound's okay actually. Publish the links, John. Yeah, okay. Well, okay, let's go and publish the links, shall we? if I go back to browser 1, where are we? Browser 2 actually, it's probably got it. If you go to Google, in fact, let's do it together. Let's go to browser 1, let's turn off browser 2, double click that, and it should just be straight into google.com. Right, now google.com. Is it going to go? Why isn't that going to google.com? Let me just turn that one off. That one's got rid of everything. Right, browser 1, google.co.uk. Let's just change it. Right, there we go. Right, let's do this together then, shall we? I don't know what that thing is that's just, oh, it's a Google graphic. Interact. Let's just enlarge the screen again. Right, so do this. Freedom of information request, COVID isolation. And then what you're looking for, the top link here, documents held showing SARS-CoV2 has been isolated, and it's nice that Google picks up on those texts, isn't it? Because when somebody types this in, they go, oh yeah, they have. But it's the top link here. What do they know? 24th of July 2020. Click that one. Here is the first letter that Andrew Johnson wrote to the PHE. Underneath it is their initial response saying it's going to take us how long to respond and what type of response it will be. And then the next little bit down is the response, which they've added either as a downloadable Word doc or PDF or as a HTML document. You click that and the HTML document will take you into the letter in its plain text format. 20th of August, PHE's reference so that it is official. There's the phone number and everything if you want to call them. If you click on the other one, it comes up with a fancy looking designed letter because they did it in PDF format. And then as you scroll down, you've got the thank you for emailing us or contacting us, what the request was, and the response. PHE can confirm it does not hold any information in the way suggested by your request. Sounds perfect, is it, Wayne? That's wicked. Yeah, it's a lot better. The whatchamacallit, let me just come back onto just me. There we go. Hello. Yeah, the microphone that I was using before was just the little tiny one. I'm just going to turn this down a little bit because it's going into the yellow on OBS. I'll tell you what, let me just see if I can show you what's what. If I just go to selfie mode on my phone, and then maybe, oh, there we go, yeah. No, the brightness is crap. Well, basically, where are we? It's all back to front. There's a little webcam on the top. And then the lightings either side of the monitor, which are on these sort of stalks. And then down here. Where is it? Oh, God, call yourself a photographer, John. Anyway, there's a microphone on the table. Yeah, great. So, sounds great. Publish the link. I'll put the link under the description. But it should be pretty easy to find. You know, just a quick little Google and you're in. Right, I must dash. I've got to get a couple more bits and pieces set up. I've got all my photo albums out, as you can see behind here. I've got a video consultation for a new customer wedding photo booking. Tell you what, let's just do a quick little plug, shall we? Anybody's in the market for a photographer or videographer, this is what I do for a living in me other life. And let's have a quick look through here, shall we? Photos, where's the webcam? There it is. There's, you can see the reflections of the lighting actually in there as well, those little ring lights. But yeah, I'm a full-time wedding photographer and videographer, if you didn't know. And this is where I work. This is what me videos and editing go on here, photo editing there. Got a gallery lounge and whatnot just over here, and then in the other room's a music studio / bedroom with an ensuite. Yeah, this all used to be double garage when we bought the place. So that's basically it then, folks. Yeah, freedom of information request for COVID-19 isolation. Hit enter, go to the what do they know. Letter from Andrew Johnson to PHE. PHE response, they've never isolated it. Right, I fare you bid well, and I'm going to get on with the last little bit of cleaning I've got to do, and then I'm going to go and see my customers. Thanks everyone, I'll speak to you soon.